Hey everybody, and here we are back in for an edition of Treys Chow Down Live on Friday. And in the house we got Chef Tim Love.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you, Tim?
I'm good.
Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of and everybody knows I hate talking about this, but we've had some more restaurant closings with the COVID-19, and I just want to say one thing, and I don't like talking about this, but I'm gonna highlight anyway. If you're gonna go to a restaurant and support local, which they really need you, you're gonna have to put a face mask on when you go in. You sit down, you can take it off, but to support them, you need to wear it and have it and use it. That way you can support local because they need your help.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll chime in on that. It doesn't really matter if you like wearing the face mask or don't like wearing the face mask. What we're asking you to do is do it so we can stay open.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Just wear the mask. You can take it off and you can sit down and you have cocktails, have fun, enjoy your friends. But that's the rules. And we like to follow the rules so we can stay open. We don't need to go backwards. We need to go forward.
Yeah. It's terrible. So Tim, you've been in the restaurant business a long time. People that don't know, you've got your so you started here in Fort Worth, correct?
The first restaurant that I owned was here in Fort Worth in the Stockyards. Yeah, Lonesome Dove. It's 20 years old this year.
Right. One of my favorites. I guess that's probably the first restaurant that I ever ate at that you had.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, it's been quite a run over there, and we hate to relate it back to the COVID, but the thing is, we celebrated 20 years in June. We're just waiting until this thing's over so you can really celebrate it proper.
That's right.
So we just kind of kept it on the low for now, but it's been a great run at 20 years there.
Yeah, and you were just telling me you have a new deal for lunch 2 days a week, correct?
Yeah, we do lunch Friday and Saturday at Lonesome Dove. We have a great outdoor space for people to hang out, and but we do what we call soon-to-be famous smoked prime rib, 16-ounce prime rib for $16. We have an amazing burger that we grind in-house, a couple pieces of fish that we serve. And it's a little bit smaller menu. All the first course are available, which a lot of people like to come to Lonesome Dove and just get all of our, little bites that we have on the first course, like lobster hush puppies and devil crabs, things like that. But yeah, the lunch has been very popular lately. It's great. And, if you come down the Stockyards, go check out Letty's, go get your hat down at Best Hat.
That's right.
Come back and grab you some lunch, have a couple of cocktails, enjoy yourself.
And if the other place open around the corner, then go listen to some music.
That's right. White Elephant.
That's right.
White Elephant and Love Shack are both open, and we do have live music there every day, keeping the tradition of the White Elephant alive even through the pandemic.
Yeah. You know what's funny to me is like when you talked to Tim while ago, CEO of here.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that you own White Elephant. They had no idea. It's still I'm shocked when people when I hear that, but
yeah, it's the White Elephant's been around since 1858,
right?
And I bought it 19 years ago, and most people probably don't know it just for the fact that we didn't really want to change much. We love the White Elephant for what it is. My wife and I, when we first opened up Lonesome Dove, we always went to the White Elephant, had a couple of cold beers, and did a little two-stepping, which we love to do, and it just turned out to be a great asset for us, and I don't want to change that vibe at all. I mean, I want it to live on, and we've done that. We've just taken a couple walls out, opened the space up a little bit, changed the sound system to be a little bit better, but nothing that anybody would notice. It's just really, it's such a cool joint. I mean, it's about as authentic as it gets.
It's one of my favorite places to go hear music. Yeah.
Here.
There you go. Now turn it toward you. There you go.
Technical difficulties here.
We're working on here we go because of the vid.
That's right.
The production staff has been down low, so we're working as we go here. That's all right though. When you're live, that's good. That's all, right. All about it. And you do a lot of TV, so you know what it's all about.
Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me one bit.
Okay, so can we go through your restaurants real quick?
Yes. Would you like me to list them off?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
So obviously Lonesome Dove Fort Worth is the original. We have 3 Lonesome Doves, so one in Fort Worth, one in Austin,
right,
and one in Knoxville, Tennessee. Then we have the Love Shack, which is my burger joint. We have one in Fort Worth, one in Knoxville, one in DFW Airport.
Right.
Then we have the White Elephant Saloon, of course, which has the chili parlor in there. Which that's the hidden secret of everything, by the way.
Yeah, people still don't know about that either.
Yeah, that chili parlor. It brought that back from the old days. It used to be chili parlors all over the place in the Stockyards,
right.
So I wanted to bring that back. We have a really good Texas Red, so if you want to check that out. And then also in Fort Worth, we have the Woodshed Smokehouse, which just celebrated 8 years.
I love that concept, by the way.
It's what's great about Woodshed is, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day. course, the food's great and things like that, and it's a quasi barbecue place, right? You don't line up in a queue.
Right.
It's full service, but the vibe there, everybody feels like they're supposed to be there. Whether you just got off the trail running, whether you just finished a business meeting, all kinds of types of people. It's really, you can bring your dog. You can be like, it's just this whole vibe of like, you just came to my backyard and we're having a giant party. That's really what it feels like.
Yeah.
But of course, it's just been thriving, even with the COVID. And then Gemelli, which is one of the newer restaurants that I've opened in town, my Italian place, and it's over off White Settlement, and it's got these beautiful gardens. We have 10,000 square feet of vegetable gardens.
Yeah.
We grow our own vegetables and all of our own greens. We have live music there. We have an awesome gospel Sunday brunch, bocce courts. I mean, it's probably the most photographed spot in Fort Worth right now is in front of the love sign, by the way. I mean, I don't know what it is, but every girl that comes there has to take their picture in front of the love sign. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and you have something really cool you're fixing to do over there. And I thought this was absolutely fantastic. And I read about it and I thought, and then somebody else texted me last night and somebody else actually called me last night and said, is this for real? I said, I don't know. I'm going to find out.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes media says stuff that you don't
That's right. And, so I'm not one to really, my MO when it comes to opening restaurants and different things like that is I don't like to talk about them until they're open.
Right.
I'm not I'm not a scream from the top of the hills kind of guy, although most people probably think I am because of my personality. But when it comes to opening restaurants, I like them to be right. I like them to know exactly what it is. And I like to say, I'm going to open up on this day, and we actually open.
Right.
So I had to go for the zoning board, though, to get the zoning changed, what I want to do for this hotel. And it's going to, we're created what we're calling a micro hotel. And it's 9 shipping containers that we've converted into these really spectacular high-end finishes hotel rooms with rooftop decks on them. And they're all separated, so it actually is very vid friendly.
Right.
And
they're going to be all kind of like a part. They're going to be in a circle just along the back of the river.
So right by the back of the river. So you'll walk behind Gemelli. There'll be this really beautifully lined walkway, and then they'll kind of pair off in these different containers, and it's all be put together like a boat dock. So you'll be walking along this because it's raised up because we're in the floodplain, so we have to raise it up about 4 feet.
No, that's right. Yeah.
And it's really, really cool. Like it's probably the coolest idea I've ever come up with, and hopefully I'll pull it off.
I think it's a magnificent idea.
So we're creating a little mini resort at Gemelli. So it's going to have this beautiful pool with 4 cabanas that only the hotel guests or people that reserve cabanas can be in. And then, of course, got the stage with the live music, and we got the outdoor bar, and we got the gardens. I mean, it's just a really nice spot. And we'll have full service in the 9 hotel rooms. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner can be room service, or you come in. When you check in, you'll have fresh bread in your room. You have a little mini oven, so when you check in, we time that out to where you go into your room. It's fresh bread in the oven, pull it out with pesto.
Man, that's so cool, Tim.
Yeah, it's going to be very highly amenitized 9 rooms, and it'd be great for all the guests of the neighborhood, right? So the neighborhood have people come into town, they can stay right there. There's not a hotel within 2.5 miles of that neighborhood, so we're kind of providing this cool little niche. And, it'd be interesting to see how it works out. We feel pretty good about it.
And you also said you're going to have each one's going to have its own balcony right on top.
That's right. So you walk outside. So each has an indoor and outdoor shower, a queen bed, a little mini kitchenette that we have a full cocktail set up. So we'll have a service person come by at 5:30 and mix you up a cocktail for your happy hour if you like. So that's one thing we do. One of the amenities that we have, it'll be already set up for you. We'll have a specialty cocktail that the server comes in and makes it in your room for you and then takes off. Then you can have it upstairs on your rooftop deck. So we have 140 square feet inside, 140 square feet on the top.
That's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And you'll be vid ready anyway.
That's right. We're head to vid.
That's right.
That's the new T-shirt.
They probably sell.
They'll probably sell.
People are buying T-shirts like mad nowadays.
I'll tell you.
So I want to, I talked to you, but I want to know, because you and I talked about this, and I've talked about it. I told you to talk with Teaser and some other people, but when you go to bed at night, do you possibly say to yourself, what the hell could happen tomorrow with this thing?
Yeah, it's been that way. Well, I'll tell you what it's been. So in Houston, we have three restaurants in Houston that we opened up on the 12th of March. And we closed them on the 17th.
Wow.
And that's really and on the 12th, we did Friends and Family. That was a Wednesday. It's also my daughter's birthday, so I remember that. And so then Thursday, we opened up, right? And and you could feel the vibe. And then Friday it got worse. And Saturday was actually our last day in Houston, and it's when they shut down basketball, shut down
Everything.
baseball, shut them. And I'm sitting here watching it live, like a sporting event.
Yeah.
And that pit in my stomach hasn't gone away since.
Oh,
and
man.
we've pivoted our business 15 different ways. When we shut down, first thing I thought of is I got to take care of the people that are worse off than me. And so we fed hospitality industry people for free for I guess it was like a month and a half, the whole time we were shut down. So we did lunch and dinner every day. You could come pick up lunch and dinner every day at our corporate office, and we served over 10,000 meals.
You also kept your employees, correct?
I kept all my salary employees because we let go of all of our hourly employees, but we put together a full packet of how do you get your unemployment, how do you do this, and this. Gave them 4 days notice, let them all work it out. They knew exactly what's happening. They knew how to go get it. And but we kept all of our salary employees, kept all their benefits. We did take a pay cut.
Sure.
And to this day, we've only lost 4 managers over the whole time of the vid, and we've brought back 80% of our workforce. So it says a lot to my team and what they do and how they do it.
And you were smart about that, because as you said, when you fired back off, you have to have people. You have to retain the people that you know is going to do well for you. So when you open back up again, you'll have those people with you.
Yeah. So when it got to be May 1st, and I made the prediction of 6 weeks, and it was almost 6 weeks to the number that we opened back up, which is kind of crazy. And so we were ready. We opened it, but it's been a struggle. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my guys have done an unbelievable job, and we sat yesterday and had a meeting. I had a meeting today at noon with my full team, and then I got a Zoom call with the entire management staff, 56 people today. We're making some really great leaps. I'm about to give some people a bunch of really good news today. So I'm excited to do that. And people say it all the time. It's unprecedented. It's actually beyond that, right? Because we don't really know what the rule is tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing. I'm tired of hearing that. I just we got to deal with it and make it work.
We're focused on the offensive now, and doing everything we can. We've created a new concept called burritos, fajitas, and Ritas, which is a takeout and delivery.
I saw that Bill Cersei shared that. I saw that.
It's doing really, really good. We're in 5 cities. We're a ghost kitchen 5-city franchise.
Boy, those are getting popular.
Yeah, and so it's doing good, and we've also created the same program to be on goldbelly.com, so you can order the whole burrito package with queso, the 3 salsas to be delivered to your door anywhere in the world.
From goldbelly.com?
Goldbelly.com. It's really cool. And we've tested it to New York, we've tested it to LA, and I just tested it to Italy, and everybody's super
Does it
happy.
work?
Really, really
How do they
we package it all. We do
you
it all.
package it all. So did you make up some special? You obviously had to make up special packaging.
Yep. So all the burritos arrive frozen. The queso arrives frozen. All the salsa's frozen. Just let it thaw out. Put it in the oven for 10 minutes. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where'd you come up with that concept?
Well, we when the vid first hit, we're like, got to figure out something we can deliver them. So we started working on it. And so we do custom burritos, and then we're doing custom burritos. Might as well have fajitas,
Yeah.
So you can't get the fajitas through Goldbelly because it doesn't freeze well, but the burritos freeze really, really well. And
it's got to have some density to.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but the locally, Houston, Austin, Fort Worth, Denton, and Knoxville, we have it all delivery and pickup in all 5 of those cities now, and it's really, the food's really good.
I bet it is.
It really is, and easy.
And man, to start something like that in a pandemic where people are staying at home, or so, a lot of people are staying at home because they're scared to go out. They don't want to get sick, or maybe they have So that's what a great business to offer people.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and then we've noticed obviously that all of our outdoor places are doing well. And I hadn't mentioned Atico yet. That's the most recent restaurant I've opened up on top of the Spring Hill Suites in Fort Worth.
I was just fixing. I was there.
My Spanish place, and it's doing really well. I was there last night. They're on a wait for 3 hours last night.
That's crazy, isn't it?
People want to be in that open air kind of space, and
that's where they feel comfortable. And I don't blame them. You can understand. That's just
and look. We're going to go with whatever it is, right? If it's got to be outdoor, we're going to convert outdoor. That's what we're going to do. And so, Woodshed does really well, and Gemelli's doing really well, and the Lonesome Doves are doing okay. But Lonesome Dove relies on a lot of corporate travel, obviously,
and it's also a lot more cozy. It's a little more social, right?
So we're just waiting for people to be a little more comfortable, and until then, we're just going to keep on trucking down the road, and it's. it's just crazy. Every day, a couple of days you're in the, when we went from 75% back to 50%, I literally was in the fetal position for a couple
Yeah,
of
I
days.
bet you were. Yeah.
It's just like,
You just get sick and nauseous.
and we can't, it's out of my control, right? And the thing is, the virus is there, right? So what can we do to be safe about it? I got a son that's at Texas playing football. I mean, we just had a 2-hour call yesterday about their protocols from from Coach Herman, and like we've got to figure out a way to live with it. That doesn't mean that we got to be unsafe, but we've
Right.
got to, as a society, figure out a way to live with it, right? And so,
Right.
so that, to your point, if we have to wear a mask to go in the restaurant, please wear the mask
Wear the
and come
mask.
hang out and come to the restaurant.
Yeah, I did. I don't like wearing them, and I'm sure. Yeah, I know you don't either.
Yeah.
But I went. I ordered all these different masks. I got like all these fun masks,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
big teeth and big lips and stuff.
Yeah.
I just tried to do something fun with it because you got to wear them. If you
That's
want to
right.
support local, you got to wear them.
that's exactly right.
What has been to your case? If you could narrow it down to one thing for you, what has been the most challenging for you in this? And when this started, what was the most challenging thing for you?
Without a doubt, it's people. We're in a people business to begin with. We know that, but really the most challenging thing is getting people to come back to work. I mean, let's be frank about it.
Yeah.
It was better for them to sit on the couch and make unemployment than it was to come back to work,
Right.
and I get it. But our challenge was we wrote the safety protocols for the state of Texas. Our COVID-19 playbook is more intense than anybody's.
Right.
And my number one concern was I want to make sure that my staff was safe, right? Because if my staff is safe, then that means my guests are safe. And if my guests are safe, then they're happy. And it's that kind of way it trickles down. So we got to take care of our people first. And once they know that we've taken care of them and they're safe, then they project that kind of same safety onto the guests. And we've been very successful with that. Our team has done very, very good. And I'm really, really proud of what they do and to have the courage to get in it and then understand how safe it is and keep moving down the road. And so, when you come to my restaurants, you get your temperature taken. We take your email just in case we need any contact
Yep.
tracing. So we let you know
Yep.
if something happens, we can get a hold of you and let you know. And it's a safety and a courtesy thing. And all my employees get their temperature taken on the way in and on the way out.
Right.
So we have a full history of what's going on with everybody that comes through our doors. And so that's all that we can do, right? It's all we can do.
What you said. It boils down to how you facilitate it and train your people.
Yeah.
If you do that correctly, then they're going to do it. And that's just like when this thing started. I told people, the restaurateurs who don't give up, who stick with it, facilitate, train their staff, and do it, are going to make it. The ones who give up aren't. And there's a lot of them just given up, couldn't do it.
Yeah, and it's expensive. Right?
Yeah.
We're not making any money right now.
No, yeah.
But we're keeping people employed, which is very important. Keeping the machine moving, also very important. And we're bound and determined to come out on the other side of it. And we're aggressive, right? We're going to build a hotel in the middle of the vid.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. Because we're looking to the future, right? And we've got people back employed. We got people happy, and we got guests that are very happy. And so now we just got to keep pushing and keep paying attention to the rules and keep doing what we can within the safety rules to keep giving people a great experience.
You said something that really struck me, and I know what you meant. You said it's out of your control, and I know being a celebrity chef and a restaurateur and a guy that's owned your business, you've been in control of everything you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you do in your business, you're in control of. But this, you're not, and it's got to be what feels the worst.
Well, I think what the greatest word you could tell about what's going on right now is uncertainty, right?
Right.
My staff wants me to tell them something certain because that's what I do, and I'm good at it.
Right.
Right? I'm the leader. They're like, hey, chef, what's going to happen next? And the unfortunate part about that is there's a lot of times I don't know.
Yeah.
And so we're all looking for certainty. I think not just my business and not just my staff and not just my kids and not just my wife or me. There is no certainty right now. And until we get some genuine certainty, I think we're going to be living in this limbo for a while.
Yep.
And, gosh, I mean, think about how many different opinions there are of what is the right thing to do, the safest thing to do. I mean,
Right.
there's nothing that says it's the ultimate right.
Right.
There is,
Right.
all the way up to, and listen, I'm not a political person, but I feel like if the president stood up and just said, hey, if we do this, we're going to be okay. And then you're like, oh, it just kind of, we're looking for that, right? We're looking at that from our governors. We're looking at that from our mayors. We're looking for that from our president. We want them to stand up and tell us something that's certain.
And I don't think any of them know they can't.
Right. And so that's
nobody's
where,
going to stick their neck out there. They're afraid they're going to get chopped off.
that's right. But somebody's going to have to do it, right? And we're doing it in our business.
Yeah.
We're standing out there saying we're going to do it. And I think, I just think everybody wants that. Like Americans, drop the right, left, all that. They want somebody to stand up and say, look, this is what we're going to do to get through this. And everybody's got to give it a shot. And we're not really getting that from
No.
we're getting conflicting.
Like you said, limbo.
Yeah. So now here we are. Same conversation.
You get hit this way, you get hit from that way. You don't know.
So I try to provide that for my team, the most certainty that I can and let people know we still have a vision forward. We're not trying to go backward. And I think it helps. But
so let's talk about something positive now, because I'm sure, I'm sure a lot of people want to know you're successful. Where does your creativity come from? When you create a new concept, or you create a new dish, where do you pull your creativity from?
Well, it comes from, well, I think most people would say it's experiences. Gemelli is. I love Italy. I love Italian food, but this one particular trip, I took my family to the Amalfi Coast, and
Love the Amalfi Coast, beautiful.
And that's kind of the vision for what Gemelli is. It's bright and airy, and I mean, there's no ocean, obviously, but
right.
This elevated look of the dining room, looking down into the gardens. It's all kind of from that vision, and I wanted to create something that was feminine for my daughters, because most of my concepts are fairly masculine.
Right.
And quite frankly, there's nothing like it in Fort Worth.
Right.
There's not a comp to it.
Right.
And so that's what I wanted to create, something really unique.
Right.
But my creativity comes from stuff like that, going to places, meeting people, listening to people. I mean, listening to somebody's mom, like there's some unforgettable dishes to me sometimes that I remember, like my good friend Monique McConnell. Her parents live in New Orleans, and her mom is a big cook. She used to be a baker, and one time we had probably one too many cocktails, and we were at her house, and she made these scalloped potatoes, and they were just really good. So I'm sitting there taking some bread and just dipping them in the potatoes, and she looks at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, they're good, and her mom loved that, right? But I remember that dish, and so I'll take that kind of experience and turn it into something else from one of my restaurants. And that's what I'm talking about. Things like that it's all based on experience and, fiddle farting around and putting stuff together. Or, I got to the garden and we have Chinese long beans that are going like crazy right now in my garden. I don't use them much, but I'll take those beans and I start coming up with all new dishes to do with the beans because I have them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's things that are in front of me is where my creativity comes from.
I love what you said, because this is my restaurant. After we sold our restaurants are, and my website for promoting chefs and that's my passion. And so I love traveling around. I told you we spent the last 4 weeks traveling. We went five different states. Yeah. And I love seeing different dishes, seeing what people what come up with, and it's neat to get out and experience that.
Yeah, and there's a chef I worked for a long time ago. He said, "Don't ever think you created anything with food." It's already been done.
It's already been done.
It's already been done. You may think you got some new combination or whatever, and it may be new to you without a doubt, but trust me, it's already been done. And once I learned that lesson, that's actually very true, right? So I may interpret it a different way or plate it a different way or use, and it may be different, but the dish has been done.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is find new ingredients and blend them into
different
something.
Flavor profile.
Right. But, any chef worth their salt will tell you they didn't invent anything. Right. It's out there, right? We didn't invent food.
Yeah, no, we did. It's funny you
that
said
shit's
that.
been here a long time.
A long time. Yeah, it is. It's funny you said that because my girlfriend and I, we like to eat sweets as much as we do regular food, and we eat a lot of creme brulee. And so in this last 4 months, we've had I don't know how many different kinds of creme brulee. And I asked her last night, we were just sitting, I was at home before we went to bed. I said, "Hey, so what's been your favorite creme brulee?" And she said, "It is so funny to me how different they taste, how people try to put their spin on it." Yeah. So I just like the regular old creme brulee. But to your point, chefs try to jazz it up or change it just a little bit to get different flavor out of it.
That's right. And, I love creme brulee too. So do my daughters, but and there's something to be said about creme brulee with just a little bit of vanilla in it. And the sugar's burnt perfectly where you can tip on it, but you can crack it easily.
Right.
Like those are the things that are hard to do, right? Making a perfect creme brulee is very hard to do. So,
it is.
So the way you hide that is you start adding a bunch of stuff to it, so it takes away the technique part of it. And that the Italians will tell you that a lot. Like Italians are, they use 4 or 5 ingredients in a dish, and but you got to do it right.
Right. And it always tastes delicious.
It's just, you're like, wow. So the more and more you add, right? It's like fashion, right? They always say, you get your outfit on, take one thing off.
Right.
Same applies to food. Just because you add a bunch of really cool ingredients to it doesn't make it great.
That's right.
What makes it great is taking a few really good ingredients and doing it properly.
Sometimes simple is best, right?
100%.
100%. And, I have a lot of family living in Rome, in Italy. And I've traveled in, and I love the cafes over there, the street cafes.
Oh, yeah.
Very small. And the food's always delicious. It's always fresh. And it's just something we've never been able to, I guess, because maybe we're just so many people in America, or the things are always want to be so big, but just something about a small cafe, kind of like Jamila, and fresh. And, you sit on the side where you take the street in and all the vibes. It's just
it's just that whole, and that's what we're missing with the vid is, we want that closeness, right? That's what makes the restaurants great in New York. You're having dinner here and somebody's having dinner here and you really don't even hear them. You think you do, but you don't, right? But you love having them next to you. When we opened up in May, I said the one thing that people don't understand that they missed about restaurants is the conversation that they don't hear.
Yeah.
That's what you miss about restaurants, right?
Yeah.
You miss hearing that conversation over here that you're not listening to, right?
Right.
You miss that conversation that you're not listening to because you like that zen of people around you enjoying themselves. And we're humans, man. We love people having fun.
Yeah.
And that's our whole thing. We love it. And so we've got to have restaurants, right? So we got to keep it going. We got to keep pushing. We got to keep the local people alive. I mean,
support local. And I tell people all the time, look, some people will tell me, man, I don't know how you're going out. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out. Dude, then in order to go delivery, you got to, because here's the deal. You may not want to do it right now, but if they're all gone when you're ready to go out, it's going to be hell because it's going to be hard to go do anything.
What do you want to go to Fridays?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not. And you said when we were talking out there, you said something. I felt exactly what you said when we were talking about live venues and stuff. And I want to talk about your concept you're doing, but live venues, you said you had to, because exactly what I thought. You said somebody will watch a concert online, or go to a drive-in one time, but it's not, the vibe's not there. You don't feel it. You don't get the feeling from other people or the music.
Yeah, you want the energy.
Right.
You go to concerts for the energy, not just the music and not the people playing. You go for the energy of everybody around you. I mean, that's what gives us energy.
Yeah.
And and that's what restaurants do for people. I mean, think of people celebrate at restaurants. I mean, everything happens at the dinner table.
Right. Everything.
I mean, like engagements, divorces, celebrations. I mean, everything happens at the dinner table, right? Everything. And so to take that away is detrimental to people's health. And, and we're seeing it with the concerts. That's detrimental to people's health. And so we've got to figure out a way to get people back together safely, obviously, but we just got to start figuring it out. I mean, if it's outdoor concerts and everybody wears masks, I think we should do it. I mean, whatever it takes, we got to get human interaction back, because I think we're going to see a lot more problems from the COVID, not because of people getting COVID, but because of people being cooped up.
Right.
That's what
I think he needs to. I think Governor Abbott needs to open the bars up and just have people wear masks. You can still hear music. You can be safe. I mean, I don't think you should keep it. These guys, people have a lot of money invested, their whole life invested in these things.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, in my opinion, that's what I would do.
Yeah, it's a tough call, and I would not want to be a politician.
I told you, and I talk about that. I wouldn't want any political job nowadays. Right. It doesn't pay enough.
No, it doesn't pay enough, and you ain't gonna win anything.
No, you're not gonna win a thing. So let's talk about your new cooking concept you talked about. I thought that was a fantastic idea.
Yeah. So we as we talked about with the concerts, people are doing concerts online, which I think is great, but you can't. It's the first time in history where I feel like doing a cooking demo is actually beneficial online, whereas doing a concert online is not, right? So we've always toyed with, because we own music festivals and food festivals, you 20,000 people go watch one guy play a guitar,
right? And
they think it's spectacular,
right?
But 20,000 people watch somebody do a cooking demo, it's just not spectacular.
Not
you can't
the
taste
same.
the food, you can't smell the food,
Yeah.
you can't even you can see it on the screens and stuff, but just you don't get the energy. So I came up with this concept of doing an online or a virtual cooking demo, but what we do is we send everybody the ingredients. So not only do you get to see it, but you're cooking live with me. And that's what everybody's always wanted to do anyway. Yeah. So we recently did one with Live Nation, a grilling demo. We did salmon, skirt steak, cauliflower, and spring onions.
Oh, wow.
So we send everybody everything you need, plus a list of all the tools that you need, plus a way to set it up, a picture of a way to get it all set up. So when you start, we go live, your table looks just like my table. And then we cook together live with a moderator who takes all the questions on Zoom. I answer all the questions live, and we take it slow, and everybody cooks together. It's really,
What
really
a fantastic
spectacular.
idea.
It's really fun. And so, we send out the kit, and we encourage people to maybe do it with their boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, or whatever, roommate, so we can send 2 sets of ingredients, which allows it to be a little bit cheaper because shipping is expensive.
Yeah.
That's the rub here is the shipping. But for $150, 2 people have full dinner. They get to cook it live with me. And we send a little shot of tequila, which is probably illegal, but we do it anyway. And then, because it's me.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we tell them what wine to buy and just have this wonderful, wonderful experience. And I'm actually doing it with Paper City and Woodford Reserve. We're going to do a 3-part series coming up September. We're going to do one for the Derby.
Awesome.
A cookout for the Derby. So you can go, pretty soon it'll come up and online. You can go order that and cook live with me. We're going to do 300 people each shot. And it's really, really fun.
Basically they're cooking with a celebrity chef. And before this, they've never had a chance to do that.
That's right.
Never had a chance to, which is just a fantastic idea.
Yeah, it's different than, you see a lot of live cooking shows.
Right.
And you watch it. But the difference here is you're cooking the exact same ingredients with me, able to ask questions and get the end result and have a lot of fun. It's really fun. I mean, especially 'cause sometimes people ask some really funny questions. So then I start the whole deal with, you got to understand, I'm going to make fun of everybody, but mostly myself. So, we get a lot of fun questions and a lot of fun answers, and try to bring some joy,
Sure.
Bring some stinking joy around here. So
where'd your creativity come from that? Were you just trying to pivot and trying to find something new? And
yeah, I've always thought, at Austin Food and Wine, I do the world's largest hands-on grilling demonstration every year. 500 people, open fire. Everybody's got their own grill, open fire, and we do the whole thing live, right?
Yeah.
And I started thinking, how can I bring this to virtual? And I said, well, we'll just send them the ingredients. And I mean, it's been a really, really successful program.
Yeah, that's just just a great idea.
It's so much more fun than watching. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch it. I mean, these guys and girls are doing amazing jobs. They're doing, a lot of my colleagues, but our concept is you get this beautiful box, really well prepared, and lots of fun stuff in it, and then you get to set up and cook. I mean, that's what we all want to do, right?
Yeah.
We're at home having to cook anyway.
Yeah,
might as well do it with somebody fun.
That's right. Yeah. So so for people that are listening now, I want you to try to explain, when people come to one of your restaurants, you sanitize, kind of tell them about the protocols y'all are doing. Just, you don't have to tell them all, but just kind of a synopsis.
Well, we have a 20-minute, what we call the 20-minute wipe down. So our hostess wipes all the doors and handles all that every 20 minutes. But our biggest thing is we want to make sure the people who are coming in are healthy and the people that are working there are healthy. So we take everybody's temperature on the way in. As long as you're below 100.4, you're allowed to come in.
Yeah.
Then we take your email address, and then you have to wear a mask now. And our staff has always worn masks since we opened on May 1st. And we have little bags you can put your mask in if you'd like. Individual disposable bags, so you can keep at the table. You can put it in your pocket if you want. We don't care. And then all of our staff take their temperature on the way in and on the way out every day. So we feel like our safety protocols are the best. We've stayed clear of the COVID at our restaurants. We don't feel like it's ever been generated at the restaurants. We've had a couple employees that have tested positive, but that was on their way back. They're off on vacation, so we quarantined them 14 days, got a negative test, brought them back. It's just never been in the restaurants. We're very fortunate, but we work really hard at it.
I think your temperature deal is right on.
Yeah.
I think all the restaurants, when I left Texas, all the restaurants there and all the way back, all doing temperature, take your name. And I think it's super important. I don't know why some people don't want to do it, but I think it's important.
Yeah, it's really not that big a deal.
No, it's not.
And when we first put our COVID playbook together back in April, and I shared it with the governor and I shared it with City of Fort Worth, and they're like, wow. I mean, and our playbook has a lot more in it besides what's happening at the restaurants. We're very high on people making sure they're taking vitamin C and zinc. These are the two things that fight the COVID the most. We want to make sure they eat healthy. We make sure you drink a lot of water. We lay all this out for all of our employees. It's really important to me for our employees to be healthy first.
Right.
That's going to be the biggest protection against any virus. And, you know, people aren't accentuating that enough, I don't think. Everybody's concentrated on getting a vaccine, which is going to be great, don't get me wrong, but we can concentrate on things that we can control, which is our own immune systems, how healthy we are. You know, I do yoga every single day. I encourage my whole office to do yoga every single day. These are things that increase your immune system.
You do yoga?
100% every day.
I tried. I'm not going to tell you about my yoga experience. I tried it twice. It was not good.
Yeah,
Tim.
you got to commit. You got to commit. It takes about 7 or 8 days to form a habit, right? And 2 times ain't enough. It's tough. It's humbling when you start doing it. It's humbling, but it's the greatest thing for you. And a lot of time, especially in these times. 45 minutes or an hour outside of the vid, just focusing on yourself. I'm going to start a new program coming up called Love Thyself, where I'm going to offer it free to everybody in the industry. So I'm trying to line that up right now and get,
neat.
You know, all these people that are having all this anxiety in our industry.
Sure.
I'm going to
God, there's a lot of that.
So at Mopac, we're big enough we can distance it and do an outdoor yoga class, and I'm going to pay for it.
Right.
For anybody who wants to come in the industry. So we're trying to get that started here in the next 30 days. I think it's really important we just got to get people healthier. The healthier we get,
we got to get them more positive.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's what I have. Here's my problem. And you know, I'm not political either, but they sit at home or they sit by their radio and they watch all this negative beatdown.
Yeah.
And so they stay negative and they feel bad. They feel down. They feel depressed. And I just wish I wish it was different for them to get out and be positive and have some joy in their life, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I had a good friend of mine who is in the music industry, obviously, you know, getting beat up.
Yeah.
Bad. Came to Jamele. It's the first time he's been out since the 17th of March.
Oh my God.
And he came to his man, thank you so much for this. This has just been amazing. It's really what I needed. And that's right. That's what we need. Yeah. We need human interaction. We just got to do it safely, and we got to get that going, right? Once we get that, once you get that energy going, right? And I feel like that's where I really want to get this yoga thing going for people. Just something to concentrate on yourself, right? Not listening to. I mean, it doesn't matter which radio station or news station. They're both on the wrong side of it anyway.
Yeah.
We need to be on is the side of how do we get healthier and how do we get moving. And it's not about the economy; it's about people.
Right.
It's about people.
And what's left after after the vid.
That's right.
Listen, you were just at the White House last month, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your experience at the White House. What did you do at the White House?
So it was in June. So when we really made this, there's a coalition called the Independent Restaurant Coalition, which I'm part of, which we formed to represent independent restaurants in Washington, which has been very, very successful. The team there has done an amazing job. They had 2 seats at the table. I was there. Tillman Fertitta, the owner of Galatoire's.
Oh, yeah.
He was there.
I was just there last week.
Yeah. And so it was a great group of independents. And we were there fighting to get the PPP changed because the way it was designed was 8 weeks. The PPP originally was a 3-week solution for an 8-month problem.
Right.
So we went and fought to get that extended, and we did it. And we went and fought to get where you can spend more on rent and utilities and things like that, not just on employees with that money. And we were successful with that as well. And now we're looking at coming up on the next thing, which is the IRC is fighting very hard for $120 billion relief package, restaurant specific. And, we hope, we're trying to get what we need is some Republican support from like Texas. I mean, Cornyn has signed on, which is great. We've got a lot of Democratic support, but we need some Republican support.
What we need is all of them to come together.
That's right. And
the problem right now is they're still fighting. I just wish they could just.
We got to get a solution. And I'm not one to give people money just to give them money. I don't think that's right. But I am one to give people money for those who are hustling and working hard.
There's always going to be that few, though. You know how that is. You can't, know.
But I want people to, if you're showing you're trying and all that stuff, I think, if the thing is, we didn't choose to shut down.
No.
We had no choice.
Oh, yeah.
So when you do that to somebody, you got to give them some support.
Right.
I believe. And so, and again, unprecedented times like we don't talk about, but you know, we're going to fight for that. I'm going to continue to fight for it. And the experience of the White House, honestly, and I don't care if you are Republican or Democrat, if you like Trump, don't like Trump. I'll tell you this: you walk into the White House, it's an emotional experience.
Sure, it is. Yeah.
And meeting President Trump was phenomenal, and meeting Vice President Pence was phenomenal, and it was really, really cool. And seeing Trump face to face will give you a much different opinion than what's painted in the media.
Right.
He listened to every single one of us. I mean, I was shocked. I was expecting to interrupt and go next.
Because it's not because you do a lot of TV. You know what you see on TV, even if it's just not what somebody portrays in real life. If they love and are passionate about their job.
Yeah, and if you get person to person with somebody, that's where you find out
Yeah.
who they are. And he listened to every single one of us. And when I said, look, we're not asking for any more money right now. We're just asking you to extend it. And I remember him going, that's the easiest thing anybody's ever asked me. I can do that, right? And he looked over at Mnuchin, and Mnuchin goes, I think you can do it. And I said, it's never been done before, but you are capable of doing it. And he loved that, right? Like,
yeah. He wanted to be the first.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, boy, you knew where to get, didn't you?
Right. So we really appreciated it, all of us. And there's people in the room that were on both sides of the political fence. And
Sure.
And that's what I loved about it the most.
Was there any tension or was it all okay?
It was all great.
That's awesome.
But we all are, as restaurants, we're all in it together.
Everybody's in the same bathtub.
So
Yep.
it was really good to see everybody come together and, say their piece about what they wanted to do. And he listened to every one of them. And I do believe that he is on the side of helping that out. I believe it. And, but it takes Congress.
Right.
And it takes
There's a lot of balances and checks to keep everybody honest.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Could you imagine if we didn't have that?
Yeah,
Oh, Lord.
it'd be a rough time. Right? But I'm excited for the future of restaurants. We just need to get there.
Right.
And I keep telling everybody, it's never going to be back to normal. You've got to create.
You got to adapt. Yeah.
A new normal. It's like this. I describe it like this to my staff in the restaurant business. Imagine this mountain that you used to hike all the time that you loved hiking this mountain, and you got an awesome trail you go up. Every time you go up this trail, you know exactly where you're at. When you're halfway up, you know how far it is. You get 3/4 away, you know where 3/4 away is, right? You have your markings on your trees of where you're at and all that stuff. Well, guess what? Somebody just closed that trail, and you're at the bottom of the mountain, and you got to figure out a new way to get to the top.
Right.
That's exactly where we are. It's the same mountain.
Same mountain.
You just don't know how the hell to get
Different
there.
route.
You got to pick a new route. And if you think you're going to go back on the old route, you're mistaken.
Yeah.
It's not. The old route is closed. So you've got to pick a new route. You know the mountain, right? You know what the mountain is, but you've got to pick a new route to get there. And if you think like that, you'll be a lot better off.
Kind of like the Marine Corps. You have to adapt, improvise, and overcome.
That's right. Because if you sit there thinking that gate's going to open back up, you're fooled.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not. It's not getting back to normal.
Yeah.
You've got to create the new spot.
And I think in here where the problem lies with the average person that doesn't want to, they're at home thinking it's going to go back to normal. They're waiting, and it's not going to go back to normal. You're going to have to adapt to the current situation to where you feel comfortable. Each individual feels differently.
Right. That's right.
And go out and do what you got to do.
Make your choices. That's right.
Yeah.
And so that's the only certainty I can give to my team is that we're going to create a new path. It's not the new normal.
Right.
It's what it is.
It's what,
the new
I don't like the new normal term. I don't like it.
Because that's not real either, right? It's just normal.
Yeah. Now it's normal.
Yeah. That's it.
And it's not going to go away. I cannot imagine. I watch people, I go out all the time and I watch people and how people are kind of varying now, and like they'll walk to the side of you or stay back. And I mean, people are really starting to get it and kind of pay attention. And I think if you let them, each person make up their own choices of their own rule, not force them, except they need to wear a mask. It'll all work itself out. But they have to have that option to be able to do that, not force it down their throat.
Agreed. And we see it in the restaurants for sure, right? People are comfortable once they get sat down, right? Even the new people, like I told you, it's, this friend of mine that was there 2 days ago, first time out since March 17th.
God dang. I tell you, I don't want, oh man, I can't do it.
It's crazy, but you know what? You could see him get into his groove. He starts, he had his daughter with him and his wife and her friend. And all of a sudden they're laughing and it's like, whoa, how great is this? We've got people having conversations around us that we don't know. Like, that's what humans need.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that I'm fortunate enough to provide that, and just seeing people smile, and it's a great feeling. That's why I'm in the business.
That's right. And I was just fixing to tell you that the average person, you understand because you're in the restaurant business and that's what you do. And I'm in the food, and that's what I do. I understand how important the atmosphere is to people. They don't even realize that. Let's just say you go to Eddie V's, and they got those guys in there, the guys in there playing in the saloon, in the salon there. Okay, you're eating. People don't pay attention to it half time. But subliminally, they're out there to get their fix on the atmosphere.
Yeah, a little jazz. And,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden you take that away. They're like, what happened?
Yeah, and now I'm stuck at home. Yeah, yeah. I think it's really made people think about life and how important their life is.
Yeah, and the things that you need and don't need.
Yeah.
Right? And what we do need is we do need restaurants, and we do need bars, and we do need,
live music.
Yeah. You think, it's like, I don't know how many people have a sourdough starter now.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a baker now, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
funny.
So like, I ain't gonna I'll make a sourdough starter and make some bread. But then even that gets old, because you know what? You're cooking the bread for you and your spouse or your girlfriend. Be like, I wanna cook bread for my friends to come over and hang out. So at the end, we've done all these things, right? We've been through all that system already, and it's like, now it's time for us to get back together, and but we got to do it safely, right? And nobody knows what that is just yet. That's the whole.
Do you think we'll ever know? What do you really think? Well, I think we'll be able to adapt, but do you think everybody's ever really going to know the real? I don't.
Who knows? There's a lot of opinions I have, and I don't want to get anybody upset.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna live my life by the rules, but I'm gonna live my life.
Right.
And,
that's what I do.
And I want to. Because I want to keep everybody safe. I want to do my part to make people feel comfortable. But it's just not going to go away, even with a vaccine. Like, because you think about, we have a vaccine for the flu, and
half of them are going to take it.
60,000 people die a year from the flu.
Yeah,
with a vaccine.
Yeah.
So, sometimes it's just. It just is what it is. I don't know how else to say it. I can't get it. So
you said you licked the wall. You licked the rail at Walmart. What'd you say?
I'm gonna lick the rail at Walmart. Still couldn't.
Yeah. Hey, so and I'm not trying to pin you down, but I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite dish of all your restaurants? Like, if someone wants to ask you, Tim, what is one of your most favorite dishes? Not maybe different, but the most at any of your concepts. What would it be? I guess there's different concepts, so I guess that's kind of hard to ask. But
I mean, it just depends on the day and time, honestly. Like, we do a crudo every day at Gemelli, right? Out of tuna or salmon.
Oh, wow.
We go pick chilies and vegetables out of the garden. And I mean, yesterday we did a tuna with a pickled hatch chili, with chili rubbed orange supremes. It was just really, really delicious, and bright in summer.
Yeah.
But then, I think back at Lonesome Dove and the original number one, the garlic stuffed tenderloin. I mean, hell, you can't go wrong with that. It's been on the menu 20 years and still sell a ton of them,
Yeah.
So, and then, we make amazing venison sausage up at Atico, which is really great. I had that last night. And then you go to Woodshed, and our beef rib there is tremendous. The beef shank there is crazy good.
Yeah.
And then Woodshed in Houston, we do a smoked Peking duck.
Oh, I love Peking duck.
It's unbelievable. And we do it like our own version of it. We peel it all back, and then we take the bones, we double fry them, toss them in hot sauce, and you pick all the meat off the bones.
Oh.
I mean, I love that dish.
Is there anything that has a flavor profile close to Peking duck? It's just so unusual.
Yeah, it's so good and rich. And and the double, I love the double fry on the bones. That's like my favorite. That's a chefy dish.
Yeah. How'd you come out? Yeah. There's a comedian, Bruce, and he said the bones. He talks about chicken.
Yeah.
And he said someone said one time, I said something to him, but he said that's not make me mad. You want to make me mad? Tell me the Popeye's closing down, because I'll burn this place to the ground. And then he said, I go to these places to do these shows, and they bring me 10 wings. I look at them, 10 chicken wings. You better cook 50 and keep them coming. Some people just like to eat that wing. And
we take that spine of the duck and we chop it in pieces and double fry it so that the meat gets crispy, and then we toss it in hot sauce. And it's Korean hot sauce.
Did you just think about
Well,
that?
when I was in the Bahamas, so my family and I always go to the Bahamas on the 1st of January because obviously I don't see my family the whole month of December.
Right.
I'm so busy.
Busy.
And so we've always made this pact that I'll take, everybody on the 1st and we go for 4 days down. We used to go to Atlantis. Now we go to Baha Mar, but we always go there.
Right.
And so we were at Baha Mar this year, and there's a Chinese restaurant there. They had an unbelievable Peking duck. And I'm like, man, I need to do a version of this. And they double fry the bones and all that other shit. And so I came back and designed it. It's only at Woodshed in Houston can you get the duck, and it's really, really good.
I got to tell you, my first experience at Woodshed when you opened up over here in Fort Worth, I went, and it was very good. But then the guy said, "Hey, do you want some? Was it smoked? It was a smoked dessert.
Oh yeah, smoked chocolate pie.
I was like, I looked at him. I said, "Are you new or something?" He said, "No." I said, "They're not smoking." He said, "Yeah, we are." I said, "No, you're not." I said, "Bring it to me." It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, we cold smoked the chocolate, and then we turned it into a whipped, basically like a chocolate cream pie. But
yeah, I literally thought he was just messing with me.
We've done some fun stuff. We smoked the flour there to make chocolate chip cookies with. And
so you smoke the flour, so when you make it, it has the smoky flavor.
Yeah. So we do what people don't realize about Woodshed is it's about the wood, not about smoke, right? So we use 5 different kinds of wood, and we steam with it, we roast with it, we grill with it, we marinate with it, and we do a farro dish there that we cook the farro with a chili rub piece of hickory wood wrapped in cheesecloth into the liquid while we braise the farro. And so it gives us beautiful woody flavor, like you would flavor a wine, right? But no smoke. And so fun things like that we do at Woodshed that really influence the flavor of the food. And it all came from the idea of me thinking, well, if you can take wine and influence it with oak, why can't I do that with food in every sense of the word? And so that's how Woodshed was created, is trying to influence food with just flavor of wood, not necessarily smoke. But we call it smokehouse because that way Fort Worth understand what it is.
Because that's like something that they can identify with.
Right.
You know what's funny? I bet if I took a poll, not you because you're the chef, but if I took a poll of people, they'd think you were taking those cookies and putting them in the smoker after they were done.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah. Or cooking them in the smoker.
Yeah,
right?
cooking them in the smoker. Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because smoked salt, smoked garlic smoke, all those kind of spices are becoming really popular because all the TV shows of smoking and Texas craft barbecue and stuff.
Yeah, barbecue's big.
Oh,
big
that market's
right
gone wacko.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it's awesome. I love seeing these young people doing new things. The barbecue's expensive.
It's a craft.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's really cool seeing people do fun, new stuff. I mean, that's the greatest thing about food, man. I love watching everybody do all this cool stuff, and I love learning it. All of a sudden you see something like, I've never seen that before. Back to our conversation. I'm sure it's been done, but I've never seen it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a quote I made 5 years ago when I did Arc for Magazine. My quote is, food is exploration of the palate. Try something new. You just might like it. Because I think everybody ought to try something new, not be in that
all
rut.
the time. I used to pay my kids $1 to try something new.
Yeah.
That's what it was. They were little, like they're 2 and 3 years old. We were at the Spotted Pig, which is like taboo now. But it used to be really cool, right?
Yeah.
And they had raw oysters with a really good mignonette. This is when they're 2 and 3, and I paid them each $1 to eat the raw oyster. It's really, that's. And my kids love to go out to eat, and they love to try new things. They don't get excited about it when they don't like it, but they'll do it, right? It's almost like it's understood now they have to try it. And so now when we went to Italy and went to the Amalfi Coast, we had a 22-course meal, and they never got bored. They were interested the whole way. Like, it was really, really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tim, I've enjoyed you being here so much, man. I appreciate everything you're doing for Texas, the restaurant industry, and everything you're doing to help get COVID over with and keep it positive. I really appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
If people want to follow you, what's your social media? Just Chef Tim Love?
Chef Tim Love on everything, Twitter, Instagram, and on the website, cheftimlove.com.
Right, and your website, it's got everything there.
Everything there, and that's where I also go order the burritos, fajitas, and Ritas.
Yeah, burritos, yeah.
Definitely, if you want that delivered, go check that out. And then goldbelly.com to get the frozen ones delivered to you all around the world.
GoBelly.com. I can't wait to promote. That's cool because I told you my shows are all over. That's something I can put on. That's really cool. It's just a fantastic idea.
Yeah, we're really excited. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. So next week, same time, same bat channel. If you go to TreysChowdown.com, you can go to see all our chef blogs. You can see our food blogs. You can see our shows. Anything from wherever you are, it's all there. And then of course we're on the Country Network. and their website. You can go to watchtcn.com and get all the old episodes. Tim's episode will be up there, and we really appreciate y'all watching. Please, I'm going to tell you one more time, it's important to meet you, support local. Get you a face mask. If you don't want to wear a regular normal face mask, get you a fun face mask. I got them everywhere. Hell, even 7-Eleven selling them.
I know.
Face everything. They're $2.99, man. Just wear one into the restaurant. Take it off when you go to the table. Messaging on my thing and telling me you don't want to do it. It's stupid. You got to do it. You have to do it. Sometimes we have to do the things we don't want to do the things we want to do.
That's right.
And that's just what we got to do.
Got to look at the end result.
End result. And the end result is not going to take place for another year or two. I feel that. So that's just, please support local, to go, delivery. Check his burrito website out. See y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Adios. I'm Trey Chapman, publisher of TreysChowdown.com. I'm passionate about finding the best food, drinks, and chefs and sharing it all with you. I should know I have over 5 decades of food experience. Find me on any podcast platform, Facebook Live, or just Google me. Now you can watch and listen to all my great finds every week on my live TV and radio podcast at Treys Chowdown Live.